Hey, what's up? Jack, Atlantis Water Gardens, part 2. We're building this memorial pondless waterfall for a customer we have already done a water feature for. I'm out here with my sons, Anthony and Colby. Right there. The most comments I get from people is, how do I start? How do I get going? What rock do I use first? I don't know. You gotta look, you gotta see which one speaks to you. Let's look around together and see if we can't figure this out. So I want something that's gonna be about 12, 14 inches high to frame out maybe either the right or the left side of the waterfall. So this one could work. I like this because it actually slopes down. I could see a spill in between this and something else. Maybe even come out with something lower to layer this out. And we're gonna talk about layering later. That's a candidate for number 1. But you want to really look around at your whole rock pile before you just make a decision based on the first one you see. And I've got quite a selection here to choose from. I've got 20-something rocks out here to make this work. I did choose a lot of stuff that was kind of flattish on the bottom and had some curved tops to it. I want to see a lot of stream edges where this kind of dives into the water, have gravel up against it. You'll see more of that later. There is quite a bit of blocky stuff here that could work. But as I look around, I mean, that's a candidate right there. Flat bottom, sloping in towards the left. See, this guy could work also. He's got some craggy texture to it. I like that. I'm gonna say we take that one and the one that's over on the patio. I gotta apologize to you guys. I didn't do anything we discussed. And that's just the way it happens sometimes. Like, we started pulling the rocks apart in the pile. I'm like, oh, no. Give me these. So this really might not make any sense right now, but I can see it. I like this one because it slopes down on the one side and it had like a flat spot over here. Then I saw this one with that little ledge right there. Boop. What that's gonna do is, as the water comes, it's gonna feed off the face. It's also going to go this way, so we're going to get a good coverage like over here. And I like when things shoot out in front of other rocks. Now comes the ever important layering. So we got to come out in front of this guy with something lower down in here, then we'll layer back behind it to make it just like it's fit in there. And we'll do the same thing on this side. We'll get a rock coming out like here. I might actually use this rock as like a stepping stone because I want to see him be able to go through the reservoir over to the other side. And that's honestly where I'm going with it right at the moment. Things might evolve and change. I might throw that whole plan out the window. I know this kind of stuff makes you crazy because you're like, I just want to know how to build a waterfall. I'm freewheeling it here. That's what I always do. But I'm relying on my, 2+ decades of experience to do that. If you're doing it yourself, you kind of have to find the 2 rocks that you're happy with to make your frame. You could just drop one behind, then you've got a waterfall. And then from there, you kind of use your own vision. Like if you have a picture of something that you want to replicate, that's super helpful. But I'm going to show you how I do it. Whether it translates into something that you can use, I don't know. We're going to see.
So we just finished shaping up our second pooling area. We're gonna have one more up behind it. This is gonna be our biggest waterfall with about a 12-inch drop in there. And it's eventually gonna work its way over these 2 weir stones over here. So how we set up the next pooling area that's behind our first set of weir stones here in the right on top of the reservoir is we shoot with our laser transit over there about 4 inches down from the top of this weir stone, or so we shoot 4 inches from where the water's actually going to start coming over both of these sides here, and then we dig down 4 inches in here. That allows us for gravel and to also have that nice pooling where you see the water's a few inches thick. And then just up behind it's going to be another 5 inches or so of elevation with our first waterfall, with a spillway starting it all that we're going to disguise real well. Colby and I are tasked with putting in our frame rocks and setting some boulders up over here on this side, kind of neatening up a lot of this and tying all this together from what the guys did down here in the reservoir yesterday. We're super excited. We got a nice selection of rocks over here and even a couple more out there in the driveway. But let's get to work, huh? Colby's so excited. Just look at his face. Excited. It's raining, but he's so happy about it.
All right, guys, let's talk waterfall spillways. This is called a diffuser or aquascape spillway. So this is a place to start a waterfall, building upon this waterfall. It's got a nice bulkhead in the back that you can actually put through the liner and tighten up with 2 rubber gaskets, and you can screw in an MPT slip fitting. MPT is male pipe thread, and then the slip is where you can glue in your flex PVC. These work great for a starting point. Instead of having just a pipe coming out and shooting water out the top of a waterfall, this will actually let it come into the chamber. It hits a wall right here and spreads the water out evenly so that it flows out throughout the entire width of the spillway. So if you want something that looks really natural, this is going to help you quite a bit. So imagine this was your waterfall weir. You wanted water to come off of this. Most of the time when I see these spillways, they're like this, or they're like this, where they just try to hide the bottom. The problem is, how do you hide this plastic thing and take away from all your beautiful stonework that you just did? You're gonna have this plastic thing on top of your waterfall, and we don't want that, right? So instead of doing this or this, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it down, we're gonna bury it behind. Now I'm gonna leave it off. If I was building my waterfall here and this was the back of my spill stone, I'd leave it off a couple inches. I'd bury it down so that I can get some gravel over it and still let it pool up. What it's gonna do is the water's gonna come out of here and it's gonna bubble up through that gravel and then gently go over the waterfall, as opposed to just putting it here and it's just spilling out. And obviously you're looking at this thing, people are trying to put logs over them or put moss on them. You can avoid all that if you just sink it down. What we're gonna do in this situation, I'm gonna come around the corner with this thing, and here's my hole down here. I'm gonna bury this spillway. It's probably a good 2 inches below the weir stone. What's gonna happen is I sloped this dirt in front of it. It'll come out of the spillway, rise up through here, make the turn with all the rock work I put in the top here. I'm gonna foam everything in, and then it'll go off the waterfall. So this is gonna be extremely hidden over here, but it's the same premise. I'm still sinking it down. I still wanna make it so the water wells up in the top pooling area, and you can make that pooling area as big as you want at the top, but it's just such a nice alternative to ruining a beautiful waterfall. We finally got a day of good weather. Unfortunately, I have to leave. But I'm leaving these two in charge, and they're very capable. I mean, you guys have been really, I've been super proud to work with you. The ideas you've come up with and how you're executing things, it looks awesome. So I have no doubt they're gonna do a fantastic job finishing this off. So take it away, boys.
And now that he's gone, we can really do what we want to do.
So Dad had left us just a few hours ago and we've made a ton of progress. Let me show you what we got. So we started our day with no edges done from the top all the way down the side here. So we're really trying to wrap up those edges so that way we can come in with the mulch. We put in a nice little plant over there that we actually had taken out from the previous pond that was here before. And then right now I'm just down here in the vault getting ready to put our plumbing all together, get our pump in there. As for rocks, we just have a little bit more to do over here along this edge where the patio actually meets it. And then we have a ton of cleanup to do, including the patio itself, all of our plywood here that runs all the way back out into the driveway, and then we have to clean up the driveway as well. So we still have quite a bit of work left, but the waterfall itself is really coming together. We just have to hit it with some more gravel in the middle here, and then at the bottom we're gonna do a little bit of a pooling area right there. So that way we can get a little bit more action down there. We're gonna put a nice little blocker rock in there too, foam it all up so that way the water does what we want it to, and it'll dissipate into the rest of the aqua blocks and some of the gravel here at the end of the reservoir. But with all that said, I think Colby's very eager to get done, right? You guys can kind of see a little bit of this waterfall here in the corner of the camera. I'm not going to show you guys just yet. I want to show our homeowner first because he has been anxiously waiting to see this, and I am so excited to show him on what we built, myself, Colby, and Pops, aka Jack. You excited?
I am ready. I am very excited. This is something in the making. My wife and I had wanted to put one of these in for probably 30 plus years. You guys came in and did the stream 3 years ago, and she was in the middle of battling pancreatic at the time. She was in front of that stream for 3 years, just sitting there with a chair looking at the hummingbirds. And recently in January she lost that battle, but I know she is looking down, and I want to take a look so she can see through my eyes and get the full picture of this. And see, you know, your dad is a mad genius when it comes to water features, and I'm so fortunate that he was here and I had the two sons to do this project. Really, really special for me. And oh, wow! Oh my God, that is insane. Can I walk over?
Yeah, absolutely.
Holy! Oh. Anything that I could have imagined. You know, when your dad came out here, I said I'd like a little spot where I could hang my feet in the water and sit on a rock and just feel like I'm in the woods, and I'm gonna be camping out in the yard. I brought the tent and the sleeping bag down last night. I'm gonna be camping out right next to the stream, and put my beers right over there to keep them cool. This is oh my God, you guys, thank you so much. And Jack, thank you for squeezing me in and coming and working on this project. This is insane. This is just, wow.